Hello, all. Today I'm coming to you from Southwest High School, where I'll be interviewing head coach Juan Romero, boys soccer here at the Southwest Dragons, our #1 ranked team in the area.
All right, we're here with Coach Juan Romero from Southwest Dragon Soccer. Coach, can you give our viewers a rundown of your background leading up to this Southwest boys soccer head job that you have?
Absolutely. So, obviously, after college, or during college, I really knew that what I wanted to do was get into coaching. So I was at UTSA. We took some coaching classes there,
Mm-hmm.
as well as got our teaching certificate in Spanish. So obviously, to coach in high school, you got to be a teacher. I'm
Right.
from Spain, so that part was fairly easy. And then, so my first job that I got was at Lytle High School.
Oh, yeah.
And there in Lytle, I started off as a middle school football coach and a high school basketball coach. I was there for 3 years, and there's kind of where I kind of got the foundation of transitioning from being a player to being a coach. And obviously in those, as a middle school football coach, you're kind of the lowest part in
Oh, yeah.
coaching.
All the to-do list.
All the to-do list, yep. So, I obviously it wasn't easy. It was a lot of hours. There's a lot of having to do extra stuff, but I feel like it did prepare me for when I got the opportunity to be a head coach. I kind of knew what it took. I had some great mentors there at Lytle that I learned from Coach Crane to Coach Mojica to some of the football coaches like Coach Gomez, Coach Manny,
Oh, yeah.
and Coach Arnie.
Oh, yeah.
And so after that, I was very fortunate enough to get a phone call after my 3 years there at Lytle to go to Highlands and be the head girls soccer coach. So I did 2 years there. Coach Morales and Coach Muniz took a chance on me because I had zero head coaching experience.
Right.
And it was kind of a perfect fit. I went to a program where there was a little bit of success. So they kind of had already tasted it a little bit, but we needed to get over the hump. I don't think when I got there they hadn't won a district title or playoff game since like 1989. So I was very fortunate to have some solid players. I still remember my first year there. Coach Jaramillo, who was on the girls' side at the time, was here at Southwest, and we scrimmaged them. And he's kind of like the one that helped me believe that we can get to that next level. So I was there at Highlands. He kind of scared me at the beginning a little bit and told me, hey, man, it took me about 5-6 years to get the girls to be this level. And I thought, oh, my goodness, I don't know if I can last that long. But, we were very fortunate to be in that SISD district and be one of the better teams. And so in the first 2 years there, we were district champs back-to-back. We were able to win by district both years. And
Sweet.
Unfortunately, we would run into Dripping Springs, who ended up winning state. But the first year they beat us 5-0. The second year it was only 1-0. So we had made a dramatic jump within a year, and the girls started believing. Then when Coach Jaramillo moved over to the boys' side here at Southwest, the girls' job opened up, and he really
recruited you over.
Yep. Gave me the chance to come over here, and it was kind of a perfect fit. I came over here to Southwest for the girls for 4 years. I was able, to have again a great group of girls that were excited, that were wanting to get better, that were wanting to learn. In those first 2 years, our district was tough because we had Harlan in there and Medina Valley back when they had their studs. So those first few years were tough. We were able to win back-to-back. They were co-champs. But still, it prepared for a great foundation. I think my first year, we were able to go to the third round. They hadn't done that here in school history. So again, with the help of Coach Jaramillo, Coach Luddy in here, our athletic directors, our coordinators, they helped me grow into what I am today. And then when Coach Jaramillo left to TAMUS, I was able to take over the boys. And I was, again, very, very fortunate that the foundation was set. But a lot of those players had graduated my first year. I think, we were left with, 2 returners. And so we had to kind of rebuild, but we did great. We did a great job rebuilding and kind of staying at the level of what Coach Jaramillo left. And obviously last year was a run we'll never forget, and we're hoping to be able to do that again this year.
Perfect. That was great, Coach. And now the next question. Here at Southwest and everywhere, the goal is to compete with character. And how do you go about preaching that or getting that across to the kids?
Absolutely. Well, first we got to lead by example. You can't just say things to your players, because if they see you, acting up, if they see you not being loyal to what you're saying, one, they're going to call you out on it,
Right.
and then two, they're going to know that what you're saying is not believable.
Right.
So, first, every time we've been here, our coaching staff has led by example on when we get defeated, on when it's a tough game. Obviously, there's emotions, right?
Sure.
And if there's a bad call, we might act up a little bit, but we do have to have some limits, right? There's not going to be a dramatic thing happening. That way, our
Right.
players know that you got to be able to move on to the next play quickly. And obviously here UIL is doing a good job of the Texas way.
Right.
So we get our kids to watch those videos. We kind of talk about it, and basically letting our players know that, hey, we want to win the right way and we want to lose the right way. So you can't just, when you're winning, everything's great and you're a great sportsman, and then when you lose, you show that you're a sore loser.
Right.
So we let our boys know that no matter we win or lose, we're shaking the other team's hand. We're not gonna be sore losers and hang around on the bench when a team
Right.
has beat us. You got to give kudos to the other team when that happens. And it, like I said, it's easier said than done, right?
Sure.
But you have to hold your players accountable for that, because if you let your best player walk off because we just lost, everybody sees that.
Right.
So again, one of the first things you got to do is if you can hold your stars accountable and they can be leaders on the team, then everybody else is going to follow. And that's kind of what we try to do around here, is making sure our star players are leading with our standards. And if they do that, then everything becomes easy.
Perfect, Coach. Now, is there a moment that you could say that kind of your team showed that to everybody?
Oh, absolutely. And I think the perfect example is last year in the state final.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing worse than losing a state championship, especially with the way we played the game.
Right.
I thought our boys, dominated the game from start to finish. Obviously, a lot of things got to go your way in a final or in a state run.
Sure.
But I thought our boys, they didn't complain when there was a PK called. When they scored the second one, our guys didn't put their heads down.
Mm-hmm.
They were ready to go after the game. When we tied it again, you saw our team there trying to go for the win. And when they score that last goal in the last few minutes, it's part of the way we play. We want the ball. We're going to put pressure on you. We're going to, at times leave gaps,
right.
And that's where teams will kind of take advantage of that. But, if we do what we're supposed to, then I like our chances no matter what. I wouldn't change anything we did in that state championship game. And you saw when we lost, you saw our boys obviously crying, but you saw them shake the other team hand. You saw them go thank the referee. Sam Placencia, one of our captains this year, you saw him encouraging our players and really saying, boys, don't worry, we're going to be back.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what the character of our
great
team
leadership,
is about.
right?
Absolutely.
All right, another question, Coach. Enthusiasm can fade during long seasons or tough losses, grueling practices. How do you keep your players engaged enthusiastically for the just difficult moments?
Yes, sir. So, in order for us to keep our players engaged at all time, and the first thing is, as a coach, you got to make sure that when you come to practice, you have a good practice plan, that it's not repetitive, that it's not the same thing over and over. If not, players kind of get bored.
Right.
Obviously is letting our players know at the beginning of practice kind of what the goal of that practice is, and obviously for us, we always have things we want to get better at. We always have things that we're trying to fix.
Mm-hmm.
So letting our players know those standards, and then having your leaders be the ones that lead and hold everybody accountable, because like you said, the season's long, there's ups and downs.
Sure.
And so you got to be able to have a team that stays hungry. And, kind of how do we keep our players hungry is, letting them know that, and this is very true, right? Is we're going to get everybody's best shot. You know,
Yeah.
everybody, we've kind of set a standard for us, and we know that if we go into a game and we're not ready, that the other team, don't matter who it is, can shock us. You know,
Right.
and so we've seen that throughout the years. Our players have witnessed that, and I think our players do a great job of knowing, hey, if we have a bad practice, if we're going through the motions, that we're going to get beat and we're not going to get to the standard that we're at.
All right, last question for you, Coach. When your current players graduate and look back on their time in your program, what do you want them to remember most?
Yeah, well, one, we want them to have a great time while they're here at Southwest. Obviously, if we can have players go to college, go pro, you know, obviously those are some great things, but very, very few players get the opportunity for
Right.
that, you know. So when they're here, you know, we try to teach them, you know, things about life, things that they're going to go through when they leave here, because in high schools, we all know, you know, we can kind of get away with a little bit,
Right.
and you'll have a second, third chance. But once you leave here, you know, those mistakes can cost your family, can cost your life at times, you know.
Sure.
So we talk to them about, you know, what it's like when they leave here, what are going to be some of the struggles they go through, and prepare them for when they leave here and they do get through those struggles, how are they going to approach those? You know, obviously we're at a public school, so we can't really, you know, stress religion or stress God, you know,
Right.
but we do let them know that there is a place for them to go to when they're struggling, that they're not alone, that they have somebody to come talk to. And when we've had players come talk to us, you know, they're very, very grateful for the things we've taught them here. You know, Coach Sluddian, one of our assistants, I mean, he does a great, great job of being a great mentor to these boys from the minute they're freshmen to the minute they're seniors to when they graduate. You know,
That's awesome.
we keep up with them when they leave here. It's not just, hey, thank you for everything you've done and see you later. You know, our players know we're a phone call away when they leave. If they need help in college, if they need help, you know, with something that's going on in their life, we have players that'll come to us, talk to us, and obviously it's great for us to have them, but we want them when they leave here to know that they have somebody that's in their corner and that's there to support them.
Great. All right, Coach, last thing, we have a game for you. There's 7 logos on there of the greatest soccer teams in the world. You're going to have 1 minute to name each of those teams by their logos.
Yes, sir.
All right. Ready? Go.
All right, so we got Real Madrid,
Yes.
favorite team, our arch enemy Barcelona.
Yes.
Then we got Arsenal on here.
Yes.
We got Man City.
Yes.
We got Liverpool.
Yes.
We got Juventus.
Yes.
And then the one and only Southwest.
That was too easy. Great job. All right. Thank you for giving us your time today, Coach.
Yes, sir.
Good job.